All right, let's get into this gist because this one is already shaking both the political and religious corners of Nigeria. The headline says it all. The man who arrested Kanu is dead. Free him now, Mbaka warns Tinubu. My people, this is not just ordinary news. It's one of those stories that touches politics, faith, justice, and emotions all at once. So stay with me till the end. And don't forget, if you're enjoying this gist already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future updates like this. Now, Father Mbaka, yes, the fiery Catholic priest from Enugu, is back in the spotlight again. Whenever he speaks, the whole country listens. And this time, he's not talking about the economy or elections. He's warning President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directly to free Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, popularly known as ipob. According to Mbaka, the man who played a major role in Kanu's arrest has died. And that's where things start getting intense. He said it's time for Tinubu to release Kanu and allow peace to return to the southeast. He's not just advising, he's warning. You could feel the seriousness in his tone, and you could tell this is not just another Sunday sermon. Now, for anyone who may not fully know the backstory, Nnamdi Kanu was first arrested years ago by the Nigerian government for leading a movement that was pushing for the independence of Biafra, a region made up mostly of the Igbo people in the southeast. That movement, ipob, was later banned and labeled as a terrorist organization by the federal government. Kanu, on the other hand, maintained that his movement was peaceful, that he was simply demanding justice and self-determination. He was later granted bail, but in 2017, he left the country after his home was raided. Fast forward to 2021. That's when things got even more dramatic. Nnamdi Kanu was rearrested and brought back to Nigeria under circumstances that were controversial. His supporters called it an abduction. The government called it a lawful arrest. And since then, he's been in detention, facing several charges including terrorism and treason. And now, years later, Mbaka is saying that the very man who led or orchestrated that arrest has died. Whether that's symbolic or literal, the priest used that statement to make a strong spiritual point that it's time to let Kanu go. Throughout his message, Mbaka kept stressing that keeping Kanu locked up will only prolong tension in the country. According to him, peace in the southeast cannot fully return while Kanu remains in detention. He said, if you want unity, if you want progress, release that man. Those were strong words and you could hear the emotion behind them. Please, before we continue, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel right now. Your support really helps this platform grow and keeps us bringing you all the trending gists around Nigeria and beyond. Now, Mbaka's statement didn't just come out of nowhere. For months now, there's been growing concern about Kanu's health in detention. Several reports claim that his condition has been deteriorating. He's reportedly suffering from certain medical issues. And his lawyers have been asking the court to release him for proper treatment. Even some members of the National Assembly have spoken about it, saying only a man who is alive can face trial. That statement alone says a lot. And so, when Mbaka came out with this new warning to Tinubu, it hit differently. Because this is not just a political issue anymore. It's becoming a moral and even spiritual one. In the southeast, many people see Kanu as a freedom fighter. They believe his detention has gone on for too long. So Mbaka's message is like pouring fuel on a long simmering fire. Now imagine this, a Catholic priest standing before a crowd saying with authority that those involved in arresting Kanu are already facing consequences and that more will come if justice isn't done. That's a strong statement, and coming from Mbaka, who has a massive following, it carries serious weight. Some people see this as divine warning, others say it's a call for reconciliation and peace. But what's undeniable is that it stirred up emotions across the country. Meanwhile, President Tinubu's government is in a difficult position. On one hand, there are the legal and security sides of the matter. Kanu is facing terrorism charges. On the other hand, There are growing calls for dialogue and forgiveness, especially from the southeast. And now, with Mbaka entering the scene, that pressure is intensifying. Many Nigerians are saying, if a man like Mbaka, who rarely speaks without purpose, is asking for Kanu's release, maybe the government should listen. Others are cautious, saying this could set a precedent, that religious voices could influence legal decisions. But one thing is clear, the demand for Kanu's freedom is growing louder. From religious leaders to political figures, even traditional rulers in the southeast have pleaded with the government to find a political solution rather than continue detaining him indefinitely. Let's not forget, there have been several court rulings and appeals about Kanu's detention. At one point, a court actually discharged him, saying his extradition process was illegal. But the federal government refused to let him go, saying other charges were still pending. That's part of what keeps this case going in circles. And now, Mbaka's message adds another layer, a spiritual one. In Nigeria, when a respected priest or pastor issues a warning, people don't take it lightly. Some believe such messages carry divine consequences. So you can imagine the atmosphere right now, especially online, where this news is trending heavily. Some of Kanu's supporters are already using Mbaka's statement as a rallying cry. You see them on social media saying things like, Mbaka has spoken, Kanu must be free. Others are saying, Mbaka's words will come to pass. You can tell emotions are running high. And you know, Nigerians, we don't just listen to news, we analyze, argue, and debate it with passion. Some are even connecting this to the recent deaths of top security officials, claiming it's spiritual justice. Others say it's pure coincidence. But in Nigeria, once people mix politics and spirituality, it becomes a whole different conversation. Please don't forget again, if you've been following this gist so far, hit that like button now and subscribe to the channel. It really helps this video reach more people. Now, let's talk about why Mbaka's message came at such a sensitive time. The Southeast has been struggling with insecurity, attacks on police stations, site-at-home orders, and disruptions to businesses. Many of these issues are linked to the agitation for Kanu's release. The priest seems to believe that if Kanu is freed, peace will start returning to the region. He said it clearly. If you want the killings to stop, release that man. That line hit hard because it connects Kanu's fate directly with the safety and stability of the region. On the other hand, government officials argue that releasing Kanu just like that could send the wrong signal. They say it could empower secessionist groups or embolden others to challenge the government. So it's a tough balancing act, justice versus national security. And let's be honest, this is not the first time Mbaka has made a strong political statement. He's known for speaking his mind, even when it stirs controversy. Years back, he clashed with the government over other issues too, but he always maintains that he speaks the truth as God directs him. So when he stands in front of his congregation and says, Tinubu, free Kanu now, you know it's not an ordinary request. It's a challenge to conscience, a spiritual reminder, and a political statement rolled into one.